All right. So today I've got what would be the first clutch of the 2026 season, which is a very cool one. I'm hoping it's good. This would be the final species that I need to have produced the entire Liasis genus. So this is a Dunn's python, which is essentially like it's like a mix of a Macklot python and a Savu python. Looks kind of like a Macklot python. Doesn't get quite as big as a Mac. It's a lot bigger than a Savu, but the babies hatch out like a rusty red kind of color, similar to a Savu, but the Savus hatch out more orange. So this is very cool. I guess before I talk about it more, I'll probably pull her out and see. What we got here? I think I got a plant closed in the lid of the nest box. Okay. It's just kind of heavy. So this honestly is the biggest one that I've ever seen. Oh wow! Other than this pair, it's the only two I've ever seen in person. So there's not. I've heard rumor of another fellow in Canada that has a pair growing up, but oh yeah, I see a good egg. Okay, let's see. To be honest, I'm trying to get a thumbnail for the video because I haven't bothered her yet, so okay. Here we go. Whammo. There you go. Very cool. So as you can see, it looks very similar to a Macklot python. This particular animal was growing to be really big. Like, she belonged to somebody and that person disappeared, and so their roommates surrendered the snake. They didn't know what it was. I don't know how many other reptiles the person had or who it was, but from what they found on Google, they figured it was a water python, which it obviously is not a water python. And then I had this thing for like the last 8 years, and a buddy of mine, Joe in BC, he hit me up one day and was like, hey, do you know anybody in Canada that has a Dunn's python? Because he had a male. I was like, yep, I got one hiding away back here. So last year he sent me his male. But it was too late in the season, like the window was already passed. So this year I made sure that she was primed, ready to go. I paired them in I paired them in October. Because I wasn't sure. I find most of my Indo stuff breeds closer to spring, and my Aussie stuff is more winter. But the more I do this, the more I learn that it's all over the place. So now, even if it's a spring breeder, I still pair it in October, and I leave them together till the job's done. This is a cool snake. I wonder if I can get a few more shots of her while she's still on the eggs. So you see how dark and the speckling and the black patches on her head? They get those weird kind of, I don't know, like ink spots, blotches on these Duns. And you notice, no yellow chin like a Macklot would have. And the eyes are like this weird dark, kind of reminds me of like a Savu python eye, but darker. The tongue too is different. Like my Macs have like a bright pink tongue. This is more of like a red, purple tongue, different tongue. Let me see if I can change the angle of this a little bit so you can see while I'm taking her off the eggs. How cool is that? Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, let's get her off of this clutch and see what we can do here. Most of, like, this is a pretty chill girl. She's not an aggressive female by any means. See if I can show you guys a little bit. So I just am gently gonna poke and prod, and you know, they squirm and move, and generally I don't like when they really squeeze the eggs, you know. Okay. Okay. Now she's starting to really roll all the fucking eggs. Yep, just roll the entire clutch around. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, there she is. So this girl, when I got her, was super fat. She was just raised like a pet snake, you know. See if I can get myself out of here so it focuses on the snake. But yeah, see, they got this kind of weird head. Black splotches all over. Speckles, lots of little speckles. The male is very different. He's almost like patternless, like silver, with some of these black speckles on him. But yeah, that's a big old Dunn's python. Just the face is cool. But no yellow like a Macklot would have. This thing, like I said, was really big when I got it 8 years ago. It was pretty fat, actually. So this is a big one. You know, it kind of looks big on the screen, but yeah. She's like, I don't know, 6 feet. Funky looking snake, though. I wish I had enough hands to get a Macklot out beside her, but anyway, there's that. So I'm just gonna get her, same as I always do. I got a bin with some water in it. Okay. You can see this shit show of a pile of eggs everywhere. So what I'm gonna do, egg box. Since I changed incubators, I ended up changing the way that I incubate. I don't use the lighting diffuser anymore. I just bury them right in the vermiculite. Seems to work better with this Cornell's incubator. I could change the containers and do like really sealed containers, but you just do what works. You know, the more complicated you make, the more complicated it is. So change this. This works for me. That's what I'm doing. Let's see these ones that are attached to each other here. What do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, what the hell? How many layers is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 eggs in this clump. Nice eggs. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 like good eggs. Straight slug. Boob egg that's more slug than good egg, right? And then these ones that flopped everywhere. Growing up, it was always, you never roll the eggs, blah, blah. If they're freshly laid, it was like, whatever. I can't remember who was saying it or where I heard. There's a study done that apparently it doesn't matter if you roll python eggs, but I don't know. I'll probably candle them and look for embryo. But you can see, right? This is a good egg. It's got a questionable patch on it. All the other ones, like, I mean, look really good. It's a real tight white. If it ain't tight and white, it ain't right, is how I always view it with my eggs. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, right on. $20 crazy. Okay. Um, it'd be cool to show candling these, but I'd do it in the dark with the lights off with my phone, so I'll do that. These will be monitor food. I'm assuming, what has it been? I believe it's been 35 days since her post-ovulation shed, which is the pre-lay shed. So I wasn't sure. Most of my pythons lay anywhere from 30 to 42 days after their shed. I thought about asking some guys like Ryan Young has bred Dunn's pythons to see how many days after shed till they lay, but I figured, screw it, you're gonna find out either way, so I figured I'd wait it out, and yeah, it looks like it's about 35 days after shed for her. So I'm gonna incubate these. I'm just gonna throw them in my python incubator, which is at 87.5. My assumption is that they're gonna be about 2 months. Like for me, all the rest of the liasis, like the savus, the maclots, the waters, are all 2 months, except for the olive pythons. For me, they're 85 days usually. I would assume that these would be closer to the rest of them, like 2 months. Like I said, this is a co-pairing with my buddy Joe in BC. Yeah, so split clutch. Very cool. I'm very excited to see, because like I said, the babies hatch out like a weird rusty red, maroony kind of color, and then they go through a color change just like a sabu python, so that'll be super interesting. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Nice fat clutch of 20 Dunn's python eggs, which I believe is the first time in Canada that these have been done. Or it should be the first. Not like it really matters, but cool. Anyway, stick around, 2 months, hopefully some baby Dunn's pythons.